Hello, all. Pollution, water conservation, deforestation, saving natural resources, population control. Would you agree with me if I said every person in India, or for that matter, anywhere on the globe, has a right to fight for this? If you say yes, then hold on to that thought. I'll get back to you. Before I proceed further, a small request. If you don't like animals, quickly scroll to the next video. This is not for you. Don't waste your time. Bye bye. Oh, okay, so you're still there. All right, let me dive straight to the main point. The Supreme Court has revised their order. They said that they're going to release whatever dogs they have captured after sterilizing and vaccinating them back to the same locality from where they've been picked up. But they have also added that designated feeding spots would be created to feed these animals. How many feeding spots are you going to create? 1, 2, 3, 20, 30, 50, 100? There is no space, and we lack that kind of financial aid. In a city like Delhi, there are so many streets, and in every street, you have quite a few dogs. Dogs, unlike human beings, are territorial. Dog from one street will not get along with a dog from another street. So how is this feeding spot thing actually going to work? Does the animal lover have to pick the dogs from one particular street in a vehicle and take them to that specific feeding spot, or the dogs themselves have to kind of think like human beings that, oh, it's time for my lunch, dinner, I have to go to that particular feeding spot, and then they come back to their respective streets? Do you think it's really going to work this way? What the government really needs to do is sterilize, vaccinate, deworm, and maintain all these records, including the health of the dog and the place from where it's been picked up, and feed it into a microchip and insert it into the animal. It sounds a bit expensive, but then we do pay taxes, and the government does allocate a portion of that towards welfare of society animals. Yeah, so microchip the animals with all these details and leave the animal back into the same location from where it was originally picked up from. Kindly allow animal feeders to feed animals wherever the animal is actually staying. In case there are any cases of rabid dogs being spotted, there should be specific toll-free numbers where public can reach out to the municipality, and of course no rabid dog can be alive more than a week or 10 days. So it's best to be euthanized in the most humane way. And if there is any aggressive dog, when I say aggressive, that means it's actually like literally biting people, just barking at people or chasing a vehicle. That's not aggressive. If it bites a person, that's actual aggressiveness. So such dogs can be reported to the municipality. The whole thing started because of a panel of just 2 judges declared that all dogs are to be picked up and put into shelters. And this was done suo motu. That means nobody took a case to the Supreme Court. They just decided on its own. The funny thing is, from 2022 till January 2025, Delhi reported 0 deaths of rabies. How come suddenly from January 2025 till July 2025, suddenly 49 rabid cases were reported? Is this some kind of a political game where animals are being, dragged into? Well, I don't know. Government has to take up this responsibility of educating the society on how to interact with the community animals. Dogs have been a part of India since centuries. We domesticated the dog for our selfish needs. Otherwise, the dog, just like the wild dogs, like the dholes, they would have been loafing in forests. And then today, I wouldn't even be making this video. We domesticated them. It is our sole responsibility to take care of the animals and show compassion towards them. You cannot separate dogs from the society. They are an integral part of us. They depend on us. And when you talk about chasing bikes, dogs chase bikes only because they've had some kind of bad experience. I've seen so many guys who drive on bikes at high speed and change the gear purposely when they see a dog, or try to kick the dogs while they're driving. Obviously, a dog is bound to retaliate. It's not like a human being. They just try to defend themselves. So because we human beings are blessed by nature with superior brain and power of speech, we must not try to dominate other animals. We should use our intellect to take care, understand them, kind of little stoop down to their level and show compassion and try to adapt with them. Some of the people are saying that saving human beings is number one thing. I mean, who decided that? You? Nature sees everyone alike. She doesn't put human being first, or like there is no chronological order. So please don't try to occupy every inch of earth. Another thing is people online keep saying, if you like animals so much, why don't you just take them home and feed them? Well, why don't you just take all the beggars and keep them in your house? In my life till now, I have adopted at least 12 dogs who I have picked up from the locality, in my locality, and they've lived with me their complete lifespan. A dog can live up to 14 to 15 years if you take really good care of them. And trust me, it's not a cheap affair. It's bloody expensive. The food, the medication, the shelter, the time you give them, the love, the affection, it's not easy, and not everyone can afford it. So stop asking people to take animals to their house. That's ridiculous. Another thing is there are people who also say that meat eaters have no right to advocate for our animal rights. You remember when I started this video, I said I would come back to the topic, population, pollution, and all that blah blah. So if you're driving a vehicle, you have no right to talk about pollution. You have more than one child, you have no right to talk about population control. Every day we use water, and we use it in so many ways where we waste water. No right to talk about water conservation. And the list can go on. So every person has a right to defend or advocate on any topic. And what is this meat eater? Why are people so prejudiced about non-vegetarians trying to defend the voiceless? We all consume dairy products. Have you any idea how the calf is kept away from its mother, and sometimes it's forced to feed on hay instead of mother's milk? And once the cow reaches its old age and can no longer lactate, it's sold off to a butcher. Male calves are sent off to butchers. Do you have any idea about all this? So there's no need to mix topics. The only problem here is some of the people are not aware of how to interact with animals. That is where the entire problem lies. And the second thing is, of course, rabid dogs, which the municipality has ignored, due to which there have been cases of rabies and unfortunate deaths. Yes, we cannot bring back those who have died due to rabies. But whatever Supreme Court has done right now, this is not going to make things any better. Supreme Court, unfortunately, has made a mess. And you made a mess, and then now you're trying to do another shoddy work of trying to cover it up haphazardly. That is not the right way. Supreme Court is the highest authority in our country, and we all look up to you for an honest and rightful judgment. So if you happen to pass judgments like this, I don't know, where do we go? How can we trust you guys? Do you think animal can think like human beings? They are innocent. They bite or chase only when they feel threatened, or if they are in pain, or if they are having any disease. So the thing is, we need to find solutions that can solve these problems. Supreme Court has made it an extremely complicated thing for everyone and created unrest between two communities, those who like animals and those who don't like animals. And you have created a sense of panic amidst everybody. And in all of this, do you know what is that kind of torture these poor animals have been undergoing? Is this what justice is? It's a shame. I request, please, Chief Justice of India, please, you are a Buddhist. You should know better than anybody out here. Please be kind. It's just one life that we all have. If we can't be compassionate towards animals, do we really want to carry to our graves the wrath of all those voiceless creatures? I don't know. Please revoke this. Please make changes. All we need is vaccinate, sterilize, deworm, microchip animals and leave them back exactly in the same spot that they were picked up from. Feeding spots and zones are not going to work out because dogs are territorial. You cannot, or are you going to make feeding spot in every street? Well, you know it's not possible. We don't have the space nor the funds for it. We need stringent punishment against any person abusing, harassing animal or animal feeders. The punishment has to be 10 years jail without bail. Strict, and that's it. There's no two ways about it. We need awareness campaigns to be run in schools, society, communities, distribute pamphlets, let it be advertisement or anything. Our honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, during Corona, he said that we all need to be aware of our society animals. We need to take care of them. So when he said that, what is this? What is Supreme Court trying to do? And also, according to our Indian Constitution 51AG, it states that it is the duty of every citizen of India to have compassion for living creatures. Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, PCA Act 1960. This act makes it punishable offence to abandon an animal in a way that causes it to suffer pain due to starvation or thirst. So by feeding a stray, a citizen prevents this form of cruelty, which is consistent with the PCA Act. So now what, Supreme Court, what are you doing? Are you like kind of saying that our constitution is wrong, or are you saying that all these acts are void? I mean, it's extremely confusing. There is no clarity in this. It's not enough by passing some loose orders where you say, okay, there will be some feeding zones, you have to feed only there. Please, you need to understand animal behavior. They are not human beings. And we also need specialists who really understand animal behaviors to be available. Public should have access to contact these peoples whenever they find cases of any aggressive dog, so that such people can actually check if a dog is rabid or not. And there might be people who must be laughing at me and taking it as a joke, but this is not a joke. Stop laughing, because if Supreme Court could make this into such a big issue, keeping aside other problems what our country is going through, like unemployment, illiteracy, violence, and atrocities towards women. There's a whole list of bunch of things. So Supreme Court decided to sideline all that and project this particular aspect as a main thing. Then I think we have to give more importance to this aspect, isn't it? So yeah, kindly spend more money on it and appoint experienced veterinarians, pay them good salaries, and appoint specialists who know about animal behavior, so who can conduct awareness campaigns. This is all required. You cannot do away with a dog just based on one or two articles that you read. So, Honorable Chief Justice of India, I request you to please look into this, change it for the better of our animals. You have a heart. I think you will give it a serious thought. Please, we beg you, don't take the wrath of an innocent animal. I could go on for hours about this, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who will not understand. Despite me having cleared all this, I'm sure there will be a percentage of people who will just continue to rant the same old points like a parrot, or take home the dogs, or dog biting, or every dog that bites is rabid. Oh, you're not talking about rape and you're talking suddenly about dogs. Why don't you advocate for all other animals? Same thing. I've already discussed all this. So it's time to bring in a new change by incorporating a few good changes within our society is not harmful. The panel of the two judges who initially passed the order based on that one media report, did you actually ever get to see the videos where how people have tortured animals? Where people, they take puppies and they throw them from the rooftop just to record a video for Instagram to gather views. There's a lot more. Just look online. You will see. If only animals could talk. If only they could talk. Don't do this.